The wind howled through Canyon Ridge as the storm subsided. Jack Harper stumbled into the muddy town square, rifle clutched tightly, scanning the shadows for danger. Martha Lawson shivered under her shawl, her eyes wide with fear as she called for Tommy Quinn, who staggered behind Jack, muttering about the cursed gold. Sheriff Cole's hand hovered over his revolver, tense and ready as Eleanor Davis emerged from the shadows clutching a soaked letter. The ground trembled with a distant explosion from the ridge, sending birds scattering into the darkening sky. Jack Harper tightened his grip on the rifle, determination hardening his gaze, while Martha Lawson whispered urgently to Eleanor Davis. Tommy Quinn's voice trembled as he warned of secrets buried decades ago. Sheriff Cole barked orders, but even he could not hide the unease in his eyes. The storm had passed, but the chaos was only beginning. The town square buzzed with whispers as Jack Harper scanned the ridge, muscles coiled for action. Martha Lawson gripped Eleanor Davis' arm, both trembling, while Tommy Quinn muttered warnings about the cursed gold. Sheriff Cole barked orders to secure the streets, eyes darting to the shadows. Jack Harper's voice was firm as he told everyone, "We can't wait. That gold brings death, not fortune." Eleanor Davis held the letter tightly, eyes scanning the square for signs of betrayal. The air smelled of wet earth and gunpowder. Panic ran through the crowd, but determination shone in Jack Harper's gaze. Tommy Quinn's hands shook, Martha Lawson whispered encouragement, and Sheriff Cole adjusted his hat, trying to mask his unease. Every heart thumped in rhythm with the distant echoes from the ridge. The storm had passed, but danger was far from over. Jack Harper's gaze fixed on the ridge, every muscle taut with tension. Tommy Quinn stumbled beside him, voice shaking, as he recounted tales of treasure hunters lost to greed. Sheriff Cole scanned the horizon, hand hovering over his revolver. Eleanor Davis pressed the soaked letter to her chest, muttering names that echoed from the past. Martha Lawson whispered encouragement to Tommy Quinn, though fear crept into her voice. Shadows stretched across the square, every distant howl making hearts race. Jack Harper's jaw tightened. The curse was real. Plans were whispered, alliances tested, and each step forward was a gamble. Sheriff Cole barked a quiet warning. The weight of history pressed down, and every decision could change the town's fate. A scream ripped through the rain-soaked silence. Martha Lawson spun, clutching Eleanor Davis, while Jack Harper sprinted toward the noise, revolver ready. Sheriff Cole barked for backup as Tommy Quinn froze, paralyzed by fear. Shadows darted across the square, vanishing behind debris. Jack Harper shouted, "It's them!" Eleanor Davis clutched the cursed letter, realizing the warning was real. The ridge loomed like a dark sentinel, and the wind seemed to whisper threats. Panic spread, children cried, and doors slammed. Jack Harper's boots splashed through puddles, every step weighed with determination and fear. Sheriff Cole stayed close, revolver raised, knowing the frontier demanded swift decisions. Martha Lawson and Tommy Quinn followed, hearts pounding with every step. Toward the ridge. The ridge loomed ominously as Jack Harper approached, muscles coiled, every sense alert. Tommy Quinn trailed behind, whispering prayers under his breath. Sheriff Cole scanned the hills, revolver raised, ready for danger. Martha Lawson clutched Eleanor Davis' arm, whispering courage. The cursed gold, once a tale, now radiated menace. Shadows moved unnaturally, and the damp earth smelled of iron. Jack Harper's jaw tightened, knowing choices had consequences. One wrong move could cost lives. Eleanor Davis' eyes darted to the ridge, recalling names in the letter. The wind carried faint movement, unseen but certain. Each heartbeat amplified tension, each step a gamble. The frontier's unforgiving nature closed in. Survival and legacy hung by a thread. Jack Harper crouched behind jagged rocks, scanning the ridge for movement. Martha Lawson gripped Eleanor Davis' hand, whispering reassurances as distant gunfire echoed. Sheriff Cole aimed at the shadows, every muscle coiled, eyes sharp. Tommy Quinn trembled, whispering about hidden traps, while Eleanor Davis clutched the cursed letter tightly. Jack Harper motioned forward, determination in his eyes, while Martha Lawson urged caution. Sheriff Cole barked instructions, but even his confidence wavered. Thunder rolled in the distance, masking distant footsteps. Tommy Quinn stumbled over loose stones, and Jack Harper steadied him. Eleanor Davis shivered, sensing something unseen. Shadows twisted unnaturally along the ridge, and every heartbeat amplified tension. The cursed treasure was near, and danger stalked every step. The ridge grew steeper as Jack Harper led the group, boots slipping on wet stone. Tommy Quinn muttered fears about collapsing cliffs, while Martha Lawson clutched Eleanor Davis tightly. Sheriff Cole scanned the horizon, revolver poised for sudden danger. Eleanor Davis whispered old names from the letter, eyes darting at every shadow. Jack Harper reassured them, promising safety, but preparing for battle. The wind roared, carrying the scent of damp pine and iron. Tommy Quinn stumbled again, but Jack Harper caught him, murmuring for caution. Shadows flickered, and distant cries echoed across the ridge. Sheriff Cole barked warnings to stay alert. Martha Lawson's voice quivered as she encouraged Eleanor Davis. Every step forward was a gamble, but retreat was impossible. A shadow darted across the ridge, and Jack Harper froze. Tommy Quinn gasped, stumbling back, while Martha Lawson tightened her grip on Eleanor Davis. Sheriff Cole aimed at the moving figure, finger on the trigger. Eleanor Davis clutched the cursed letter, muttering prayers as tension spiked. Jack Harper whispered orders, calculating the threat. The wind shifted, carrying an acrid scent of smoke and wet stone. Tommy Quinn's voice trembled as he warned of unseen enemies. Martha Lawson's eyes darted toward jagged cliffs, imagining ambushes. Sheriff Cole barked commands, forcing everyone to focus. Jack Harper advanced cautiously, muscles coiled, eyes sharp. The ridge was alive with danger, and every heartbeat counted. Lightning split the sky as Jack Harper signaled the group to halt. Martha Lawson and Eleanor Davis crouched low, shivering in the cold wind. Sheriff Cole scanned every ridgeline, revolver ready for sudden attack. Tommy Quinn whispered frantic warnings about traps hidden beneath stones. Jack Harper's jaw tightened, calculating every risk. Eleanor Davis gripped the cursed letter like a lifeline. The wind carried distant echoes of screams, mixing with the rain's drum. Martha Lawson muttered encouragement to Tommy Quinn, steadying his nerves. Jack Harper advanced a few steps, eyes narrowing at the shadows. Sheriff Cole barked orders to remain vigilant. Every second stretched, the ridge alive with unseen threats. The ridge ended at a jagged cliff, overlooking a swirling river below. Jack Harper leaned close to Tommy Quinn, whispering instructions. Martha Lawson clutched Eleanor Davis, eyes wide with fear. Sheriff Cole scanned the treeline for hidden enemies, revolver tight in hand. Eleanor Davis' voice trembled as she read names from the letter aloud. Jack Harper signaled forward, muscles tense, heart pounding. Tommy Quinn's knees shook, but Jack Harper steadied him. The wind carried the scent of wet earth and smoke. Martha Lawson whispered reassurances, while Sheriff Cole barked orders to remain calm. Shadows flickered in the cliffside fog. Every step could trigger disaster. The cursed treasure drew nearer, yet danger lurked in every corner. Thunder rolled across the cliffs as Jack Harper led the group toward the cave entrance. Martha Lawson's hands trembled as she guided Eleanor Davis closer. Sheriff Cole scanned the dark cavern with careful vigilance. New. Tommy Quinn whispered nervously about traps and shadows, while Eleanor Davis clutched the cursed letter tightly, eyes wide. Jack Harper reassured them with calm authority, yet tension rippled through every step. The wind howled through the cave mouth, carrying the scent of damp stone. Martha Lawson muttered encouragement to Tommy Quinn, steadying his nerves. Sheriff Cole motioned for silence, senses alert. Eleanor Davis shivered at the cave's darkness. Jack Harper's gaze never wavered. Every heartbeat echoed in the cavern, danger unseen yet palpable. Inside the cave, shadows twisted unnaturally. Jack Harper signaled for caution while advancing slowly. Tommy Quinn stumbled over jagged rocks, whispering fears about hidden traps. Eleanor Davis gripped the cursed letter, voice trembling as she read aloud. Martha Lawson clutched her shoulder, urging calm. Sheriff Cole aimed his revolver at every shadow, muscles taut. Jack Harper scanned the darkness for movement. The air smelled of damp stone and smoke. Tommy Quinn shivered as he imagined unseen dangers. Martha Lawson whispered prayers while Eleanor Davis' hands shook. Every step deeper intensified the tension. Jack Harper led confidently, yet every glance betrayed worry. The cave seemed alive, echoing footsteps that were not their own. A faint glimmer caught Jack Harper's eye, and he crouched, signaling silence. Tommy Quinn froze, whispering about hidden enemies. "Ah!" Eleanor Davis leaned closer, letter trembling in her hands. Martha Lawson clutched Eleanor Davis' arm, eyes wide in alarm. Sheriff Cole scanned every corner, revolver poised. Jack Harper crept forward, every sense alert. The cave walls seemed to close around them as wind howled faintly. Tommy Quinn's knees shook under fear. Martha Lawson whispered for courage, gripping Eleanor Davis tightly. Eleanor Davis muttered names from the letter, hoping for protection. Jack Harper's eyes narrowed on the glimmering object ahead. Shadows shifted unnaturally around them. Every heartbeat echoed the treasure within reach, yet peril imminent. Jack Harper stepped closer to the glimmering treasure, signaling caution. Tommy Quinn whispered warnings about traps and curses. "No." Martha Lawson urged Eleanor Davis to stay calm, while Eleanor Davis clutched the letter tightly. Sheriff Cole scanned the cavern, revolver ready for sudden danger. Jack Harper examined the treasure, eyes sharp. The cave seemed alive, shadows twisting with every flicker of torchlight. Tommy Quinn shivered, imagining hidden threats. Martha Lawson muttered quiet prayers. Eleanor Davis' voice trembled as she recited names from the cursed letter. Jack Harper motioned forward, muscles tense. Sheriff Cole barked instructions, maintaining vigilance. Danger was immediate, yet the treasure's allure was undeniable. Every movement had to be precise. Lightning illuminated the cavern as Jack Harper reached for the cursed treasure. Tommy Quinn froze, voice shaking with fear. Martha Lawson clutched Eleanor Davis, who held the cursed letter tightly. Sheriff Cole barked orders to remain calm, revolver raised. Jack Harper's hand hovered over the treasure, muscles coiled for sudden attack. Shadows shifted violently around them as wind howled through the cave. Tommy Quinn whispered about unseen enemies, knees trembling. Martha Lawson muttered prayers to steady herself. Eleanor Davis' voice faltered, reading names from the letter aloud. Jack Harper's eyes narrowed, sensing imminent danger. Every second stretched into eternity. The treasure's power radiated, threatening to consume them all. The cave shook violently as Jack Harper gripped the cursed treasure. Tommy Quinn stumbled backward, eyes wide with fear. Martha Lawson held Eleanor Davis tightly, shielding her from falling debris. Sheriff Cole barked warnings, revolver raised, scanning the shadows. Eleanor Davis whispered names from the cursed letter, voice trembling. Jack Harper braced against a falling rock, muscles taut. The wind howled through the cave, carrying the scent of damp earth and smoke. Tommy Quinn muttered about curses and spirits. Martha Lawson encouraged him to stay calm. Eleanor Davis' hands shook as she clutched the letter. Jack Harper's eyes darted around the cavern, anticipating danger. Every moment stretched with tension, the treasure pulsing with a sinister energy. Jack Harper shouted over the roar of falling rocks, directing everyone toward a narrow passage. Tommy Quinn's legs trembled as he followed. Eleanor Davis clutched the cursed letter tightly, whispering protective words. Martha Lawson urged caution while glancing back at the collapsing cavern. Sheriff Cole fired a warning shot into the shadows. "Niggy worry day." Jack Harper led swiftly but carefully, eyes alert. Tommy Quinn stumbled over loose stones. Eleanor Davis tripped but was caught by Martha Lawson. The cave echoed with thunder and rockfall. Jack Harper's focus never wavered as he guided the group. Sheriff Cole stayed close, revolver ready. Every step was perilous, the treasure's pull fading behind them but danger ever present. Emerging from the cave into a stormy cliffside, Jack Harper shielded Eleanor Davis with his coat. Tommy Quinn stumbled, eyes wide at the raging sea below. Martha Lawson grabbed his arm to steady him. Sheriff Cole scanned the horizon for threats. Eleanor Davis held the cursed letter close, whispering urgent warnings. Jack Harper scanned the cliff edge, alert for loose stones. Tommy Quinn shivered from fear and cold. Martha Lawson encouraged him to focus. Eleanor Davis' voice trembled as she spoke names from the letter. Jack Harper motioned forward carefully, maintaining balance. Sheriff Cole stayed close, vigilant. Every gust of wind carried tension as they reached the cliff's edge. Lightning split the sky as Jack Harper guided the group along the cliff edge. Tommy Quinn's steps faltered, voice shaky with fear. Martha Lawson held Eleanor Davis close, shielding her from gusts. Sheriff Cole stayed alert, scanning every shadow. Eleanor Davis whispered names from the cursed letter, trembling. Jack Harper's eyes never left the path ahead. The wind tore at their clothes and hair. Tommy Quinn muttered prayers under his breath. Martha Lawson encouraged him to stay calm. Eleanor Davis' hands shook, but she followed closely. Jack Harper's muscles tensed with each step. Sheriff Cole barked instructions to maintain formation. Every heartbeat echoed in the storm's roar, danger looming with each wave crashing below. Jack Harper reached the cliff's end, motioning everyone toward a hidden path down the rocks. Tommy Quinn hesitated, knees shaking, but followed. Eleanor Davis whispered protective names from the letter. Martha Lawson held Tommy's hand, urging him forward. Sheriff Cole scanned for danger as thunder rumbled overhead. Jack Harper led carefully, eyes sharp. The wind howled, carrying the scent of rain and salt from the sea below. Tommy Quinn muttered about curses and survival. Eleanor Davis clutched the letter tighter. Martha Lawson whispered reassurances. Jack Harper's focus remained unwavering. Sheriff Cole barked orders to maintain pace. Every step was a test of courage and balance as the storm raged around them. Jack Harper stood at the entrance of the hidden temple, torch in hand, eyes scanning the ancient stone walls. Tommy Quinn shivered as shadows danced across his face. Eleanor Davis clutched the cursed letter, whispering urgent warnings. Martha Lawson tightened her grip on Tommy's arm, urging him forward. Sheriff Cole checked their surroundings, revolver ready. Jack Harper signaled the group to move cautiously inside. The air was thick with dust and the scent of mildew. Tommy Quinn stumbled over broken stones, catching himself on a carved pillar. Eleanor Davis read aloud the names inscribed on the walls. Martha Lawson kept glancing at hidden alcoves for danger. Jack Harper's focus never wavered. Sheriff Cole maintained a protective stance, alert to every sound. Tension hung heavy as they stepped deeper into darkness. Inside the temple, Jack Harper led the group past crumbling statues. Tommy Quinn's fear grew as eerie whispers echoed. Eleanor Davis clutched the cursed letter, reading aloud protective incantations. Martha Lawson held Tommy close, shielding him from collapsing debris. Sheriff Cole's eyes darted toward every shadow. Jack Harper paused at a trapdoor, signaling caution. Tommy Quinn hesitated, stepping carefully. Eleanor Davis' voice trembled but continued reading. Martha Lawson urged him forward. Jack Harper tested the trapdoor, ensuring it was safe. Sheriff Cole stayed close, guarding the group. Every step seemed to awaken ancient spirits. The air grew colder and shadows stretched unnaturally. The temple seemed alive with unseen threats. Jack Harper descended into the temple's inner chamber, torch held high. Tommy Quinn followed hesitantly, knees shaking. Eleanor Davis whispered names from the cursed letter, chanting urgently. Martha Lawson stayed close to him, murmuring reassurances. Sheriff Cole scanned for threats as stone shadows shifted. Jack Harper's eyes widened at the sight of the treasure pedestal, glowing faintly. Tommy Quinn gasped, frozen in awe and fear. Eleanor Davis stepped forward, reciting protective phrases. Martha Lawson urged caution as the ground trembled. Jack Harper approached the pedestal slowly. Sheriff Cole's hand tightened on his revolver. Every flicker of torchlight revealed new carvings. Tension thickened, every heartbeat echoing in the chamber. A rumble shook the chamber as Jack Harper reached for the treasure. Tommy Quinn froze in fear. Eleanor Davis clutched the cursed letter tighter, voice trembling with incantations. Martha Lawson pulled Tommy back, urging caution. Sheriff Cole's eyes scanned for collapsing stones. Jack Harper's hands hovered above the glowing treasure, muscles tense. Lightning outside illuminated the chamber through cracks in the walls. Tommy Quinn whispered prayers. Eleanor Davis' voice rose in protective chants. Martha Lawson reassured him. Jack Harper's focus remained unbroken as he touched the treasure carefully. Sheriff Cole's stance remained defensive. The temple seemed to breathe around them, every shadow alive. With a final careful motion, Jack Harper lifted the cursed treasure. Tommy Quinn exhaled, relief washing over his face. Eleanor Davis lowered the cursed letter, whispering a final protective incantation. Martha Lawson smiled, relieved, holding Tommy close. Sheriff Cole exhaled, lowering his revolver but keeping watch. The temple settled, trembling subsiding. Jack Harper examined the treasure carefully. Tommy Quinn looked around, marveling at surviving the ordeal. Eleanor Davis felt the curse weaken. Martha Lawson guided Tommy toward the exit. Sheriff Cole led the way, cautious but assured. Sunlight pierced through temple cracks as they ascended. Every step forward felt like freedom, reclaimed from the shadows. Jack Harper surveyed the quiet village from a hill, torch long extinguished but memories alive. Tommy Quinn walked beside him, still shaky but smiling at the dawn. Eleanor Davis held the cursed letter safely in a sealed box, glancing at Jack Harper with gratitude. Martha Lawson linked arms with Tommy Quinn, speaking softly about safety and hope. Sheriff Cole stood a few steps behind, scanning the horizon for any lingering threat. Jack Harper spoke of the temple's secrets, but with a calm voice now. Tommy Quinn listened intently, nodding. Eleanor Davis suggested caution for the future. Martha Lawson reassured everyone that danger had passed. Sheriff Cole relaxed slightly, though always vigilant. Jack Harper reflected on the journey, the shadows now behind them. Tommy Quinn felt courage growing. Eleanor Davis smiled faintly, the burden eased. The village began to stir with morning activity. Jack Harper led the group back into the village marketplace, observing the cautious smiles of villagers. Tommy Quinn marveled at the normalcy around him. Eleanor Davis placed the cursed letter into a secure chest in the town hall. Martha Lawson kept Tommy close, whispering that danger was truly behind them. Sheriff Cole nodded at familiar faces, ensuring no threats lingered. Jack Harper explained the importance of vigilance without fear. Tommy Quinn laughed quietly, grateful for survival. Eleanor Davis reassured him about the power of knowledge. Martha Lawson shared quiet words of encouragement. Sheriff Cole offered guidance to villagers on security. Jack Harper observed the peaceful energy, feeling contentment. Tommy Quinn felt his confidence grow with each step. Eleanor Davis smiled faintly, sensing closure. Martha Lawson exhaled, tension easing. Jack Harper sat at the village tavern, recounting the journey to Tommy Quinn in hushed tones. Tommy Quinn listened eagerly, fascinated by every detail. Eleanor Davis joined, offering insights from the cursed letter. Martha Lawson served refreshments, her eyes lingering on both men with concern and relief. Sheriff Cole leaned back in a chair, alert but relaxed, observing the room. Jack Harper emphasized the lessons learned and the importance of unity. Tommy Quinn nodded, absorbing each word. Eleanor Davis reminded them of the dangers still lingering beyond the village. Martha Lawson reassured Tommy, emphasizing courage. Sheriff Cole smiled faintly, proud of the group's resilience. Jack Harper felt a weight lifted. Tommy Quinn's laughter returned naturally. Eleanor Davis felt calm. Martha Lawson allowed herself a rare moment of ease. Outside, Jack Harper walked through the village square with Tommy Quinn, pointing out areas where repairs were underway. Eleanor Davis followed, explaining how knowledge and caution prevent disaster. Martha Lawson stayed close to Tommy, offering gentle encouragement. Sheriff Cole coordinated with villagers, reinforcing safety measures. Jack Harper shared reflections on bravery and teamwork. Tommy Quinn absorbed lessons on caution and resilience. Eleanor Davis reminded them that wisdom can be a shield. Martha Lawson nodded, smiling softly at the group's progress. Sheriff Cole's presence was reassuring to villagers. Jack Harper felt pride in seeing his friends grow stronger. Tommy Quinn looked around with confidence. Eleanor Davis felt peace settling in. Martha Lawson exhaled, a sense of calm enveloping her. As dusk fell, Jack Harper, Tommy Quinn, Eleanor Davis, Martha Lawson, and Sheriff Cole gathered near the village fountain, reflecting on their journey. Jack Harper spoke of courage, Tommy Quinn of learning, Eleanor Davis of knowledge, Martha Lawson of hope, and Sheriff Cole of protection. Villagers lingered nearby, grateful and relieved. The cursed letter remained locked away, no longer a threat. Jack Harper looked at the setting sun, feeling accomplishment. Tommy Quinn smiled widely, a newfound confidence shining. Eleanor Davis felt wisdom and relief. Martha Lawson's hand brushed Tommy's reassuringly. Sheriff Cole exhaled, eyes scanning the horizon one last time. Together, they watched the golden light fade. The village was safe, and their bond stronger than ever. Shadows retreated as light reclaimed the land, signaling a lasting peace. Years after the final battle, Jack Harper returned to the village, walking along familiar paths while memories of past trials lingered. Tommy Quinn ran ahead, playful and confident, yet looking back to check Jack Harper's progress. Eleanor Davis followed, carrying a small journal, recording the story of their journey for future generations. Martha Lawson smiled warmly, observing Tommy's energy and the life returning to normal. Sheriff Cole walked steadily behind, eyes scanning the surroundings out of habit, but with calm assurance. Jack Harper reflected on courage, sacrifice, and loyalty. Tommy Quinn laughed freely, a spark of youthful innocence balanced with wisdom. Eleanor Davis explained her notes to anyone nearby. Martha Lawson reassured the villagers that peace endured. Sheriff Cole shared quiet advice on vigilance. Jack Harper felt pride and serenity. Tommy Quinn felt purpose. Eleanor Davis felt fulfillment. Martha Lawson's heart swelled with hope. Sheriff Cole nodded, satisfied with the village's safety. Jack Harper gathered Tommy Quinn, Eleanor Davis, Martha Lawson, and Sheriff Cole by the village fountain, now surrounded by blooming flowers. Tommy Quinn shared stories of his training and newfound skills, making Jack Harper smile. Eleanor Davis recounted historical lessons learned, careful to highlight courage and knowledge. Martha Lawson laughed at Tommy's exaggerated tales, keeping the mood light. Sheriff Cole offered guidance to the young villagers who listened attentively. Jack Harper reflected aloud on unity, teamwork, and wisdom. Tommy Quinn agreed enthusiastically. Eleanor Davis emphasized learning from mistakes. Martha Lawson reminded everyone of hope's resilience. Sheriff Cole reinforced vigilance without fear. Jack Harper felt contentment settle in. Tommy Quinn beamed. Eleanor Davis felt calm pride. Martha Lawson relaxed fully. Sheriff Cole's eyes softened, at peace. Jack Harper, Tommy Quinn, Eleanor Davis, Martha Lawson, and Sheriff Cole visited the hill overlooking the village, the same hill where the journey had first begun. Tommy Quinn marveled at how far they had come. Eleanor Davis pointed out landmarks that had once been dangerous. Martha Lawson encouraged Tommy to remember lessons learned. Sheriff Cole stood firm, a symbol of enduring protection. Jack Harper reflected on each battle, triumph, and loss. Tommy Quinn nodded, absorbing the wisdom of experience. Eleanor Davis emphasized the importance of recording history for future generations. Martha Lawson reminded the group that courage and compassion would guide the village forever. Sheriff Cole's presence reassured all. Jack Harper felt closure. Tommy Quinn felt purpose. Eleanor Davis smiled with satisfaction. Martha Lawson's heart was full. Sheriff Cole exhaled in quiet pride. The group returned to the village hall, now restored and thriving, where villagers gathered for a celebration of survival and renewal. Jack Harper spoke of courage and unity. Tommy Quinn shared his adventures, inspiring younger villagers. Eleanor Davis read excerpts from her journal, chronicling lessons learned. Martha Lawson offered kind words, encouraging hope and resilience. Sheriff Cole guided a few villagers on safety protocols, ensuring vigilance remained steady. Jack Harper reflected on how each person's contribution shaped the village's future. Tommy Quinn listened attentively, learning leadership. Eleanor Davis felt satisfaction at preserving knowledge. Martha Lawson smiled at the joyful faces around her. Sheriff Cole nodded approvingly. Jack Harper felt peace. Tommy Quinn felt proud. Eleanor Davis exhaled contentedly. Martha Lawson radiated hope. Sheriff Cole felt reassurance in legacy secured. As night fell, Jack Harper, Tommy Quinn, Eleanor Davis, Martha Lawson, and Sheriff Cole gathered by the village fountain, the sky painted in stars. Tommy Quinn whispered dreams of adventure, inspired by lessons learned. Eleanor Davis reflected on knowledge as a guiding light. Martha Lawson held Tommy's hand gently, symbolizing love and hope. Sheriff Cole stood quietly, ever vigilant yet serene. Jack Harper looked at the group with pride, feeling the weight of their shared journey. Tommy Quinn felt courage and curiosity bloom. Eleanor Davis felt fulfillment. Martha Lawson's heart was full. Sheriff Cole exhaled, satisfied. Together, they watched the stars, understanding the legacy they had created. Peace enveloped the village, and the bond among them shone brighter than any shadow ever could.